Hello everyone, I've just came back from a week stay at the Livvo Valle Taurito over in Gran Canaria, and I'm going to give you my honest thoughts and opinions on the hotel. So we're going to start off with the rooms. So the room I stayed in was a family size room. It was two single beds pushed together and a sofa bed that was able to sleep two people as well. I went on this holiday with my partner and two kids. My kids were aged 8 and 11, and the room was spacious enough for four of us, but if you keep looking around the room, you will see like it's kind of run down. So I'll put some images on screen now or videos. Um, there was rips in the curtains. There was wood filler on the door frames. There was some of the lamps and lampshades were battered and bruised. Well, not bruised, but kind of cracked. So yeah, so the room was good. The best thing about the room, to be honest with you, was the air conditioning. It was great, but everything else was kind of. If you look at it for like a glance, it's like, oh, it's a really nice looking modern room. But if you keep looking deeper into it, you'll see there's some problems with it. It's kind of run down. The beds were quite comfy. I had no problems with the bed. I would say if you are a light sleeper, put someone who does not move a lot on the sofa bed, because that sofa bed creaks a lot. With the slightest movement, you'll hear creaks all night. So put someone who doesn't move a lot while they're sleeping, because if you put someone who does move a lot on there, you'll hear squeak, squeak, squeak all night. So now we're going to talk about the all-inclusive, the food and the snacks that you get at this hotel. So this hotel online is classed as a 4-star hotel. And for a 4-star hotel, I was expecting the all-inclusive to be really good. But I was disappointed. It was the most minimalist all-inclusive I've ever had. I'll put on a picture of the all-inclusive drinks you can get at the bar. You only get 3 cocktails. You only get a couple of other drinks as well. Then after that, you got to start paying. All inclusive at the bar ends at about 11 o'clock at night, and then for the last hour, you got to start paying for your beers because the bar closes at midnight. All inclusive stops at 11 o'clock at night. So if you want to stay at the bar until it closes, for the last hour, you got to start paying for any drinks you get. The snacks that you can get at the bar near the pool are very limited. It's normally just a hot dog that's been left out all day with a stale balm. There's some salad there. The salad just looks slimy because it's just been left out all day. The best snack you can get from the bar is the ice cream. It's a tub of ice cream. Get it whenever you want. That's the best thing that you can get from the bar, because the food and the snacks that you get from the bars, well, the one bar, it's terrible. Now let's talk about the food you get at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's your normal all-inclusive breakfast, lunch, and dinner, basically. But to me, it's even worse because it was just really bland. There was no taste to it. I'm not a fussy eater. I will eat whatever I see. I don't really care. And even I found it hard. My two daughters, who are kind of fussy eaters, did not like the food at all. They were living off for a whole week rice and bread. They tried some of the chicken because some days they'll do like roast chicken or roast pork. Whenever they did roast chicken or pork, they'll have that. But most days they didn't really have anything like that. Sometimes they had like fried squid. They do have chips all the time. There is some meals that they have every day, so it's like chips, pizza, and pasta are the meals that you'll get every day, and then they'll also add other things onto that as well. Um, if you are a vegan or have a nut allergy, there is no labels on the food telling you if it contains nuts or if it's vegan friendly. I learnt that the hard way because I was getting a cake for pudding each day, and for like the first maybe 4 or 5 days, it had no nuts in it, and then the last 2 days I was there, for some reason the same cake they started putting nuts in it. So it's just kind of random. So if you had a nut allergy and were liking the cake, and then you could go back on the fifth or sixth day to get the same cake, you find a nut in it, that could do some harm to you. So there is labeling, but it doesn't tell you if it contains nuts. The only label they have is the one over the fish that says may contain bones. That's the only label warning they have. So if you do have some sort of allergy, it's best asking the waiters there to see do they know what's in the food, because the labels don't tell you anything. So now we're going to talk about the pool and the water park. The pool at the hotel is where the bar's located. It's a chlorine pool. It's a normal outdoor pool. It's one. I'll say it's the best pool to go to. But if you do want to get a sun lounger, you need to go down early. People were going down at 6 o'clock in the morning, putting towels down there just so they can get a sun lounger, because that hotel pool will be busy all day, every day. So you need to get down there early. The main pool is one depth. It's about 1 meter 55 or 1 meter 60 deep. There's no shallow end or deep end. It's just one depth all the way through. There is a little kids pool further back, which is about maybe a foot deep. It's only tiny. It's a tiny little circle. So yeah, the hotel pool is chlorine. If you go over to the water park, that there is a salt water pool. So it's not. So if you put your head under, you'll get the taste of salt. Also, the salt water kind of burns your eyes as well. So make sure your kids have some goggles because it can irritate your eyes. When you go over to the water park, there is no bar over there where you can get food from the all inclusive. You got to pay for stuff over there. So keep that in mind. You can kind of try and sneak in water or drinks if you pop them in a bag. They don't really bother. But yeah, you can't get all inclusive over at the water park. The water park itself, the slides are great. Kids will love them. There's shallow ends, there are deep ends, so kids will have fun. The only bad thing about the water park is that it's really run down. So the actual concrete pathways around the pool, they're breaking up. There's potholes in them. There's bits of rock, sharp bits of rock, and concrete dust all over the place. So if you're walking around barefoot, be prepared to feel some stones in your feet. There's some images on screen now of it. Also, the health and safety there isn't the best. There's like exposed wires for like lights above like the water. So yeah. Also, the actual pool itself has a weird green slime on the tiles floating on the top. There's a guy that normally goes around in the morning to try and wipe all that slime off, but you don't get it all. So if you're leaning against those tiles, that slime will then transfer onto your swimming costume, and you're left with this horrible green stain on your swimming costume. To look out for that. And also, the salt water kind of makes you feel sticky. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it has a weird reaction with your sun cream, but it does kind of make you feel a little bit sticky once you come out. Let's talk about the entertainment now. The entertainment is over in the kind of the middle of the valley you're in. So the hotel is located in a valley with 3 more Livvo hotels, and then 2 more, I think they're Tui hotels at the end. Then in the middle of that valley is the entertainment place, because the 3 Livvo hotels share the same entertainment. There's an all-inclusive bar over there. There's an arcade. There's mini golf that you got to pay for. There's bowling as well that you can pay for, and there's also a basketball court and a tennis ball court. And then there's a stage. So entertainment-wise, the shows are just lackluster. They're basically just there. Like, no one really pays attention to them. They are some of the worst shows I've ever seen. Their budget is probably about £10 a night. It's terrible. The shows we've seen where they did Grease, The Lion King, they had a guy singing, they had what do you call it? A guy doing magic. There's also a kid disco that's meant to start at 8 p.m, but it normally starts around 8:30 p.m. Little kids will like that, but if your kid's around 8 plus, they will not enjoy it. So yeah, so the entertainment is just there. No one really pays attention to it because it's that bad. It's the worst entertainment I've ever seen. The Grease one was the worst one. That was the one on our last night. So they were basically miming Grease. They must have like took the audio out of the film because the audio quality was really bad, and they was just miming it, and it was just terrible, and the dances were terrible. Some of the people didn't know the dance, so they was looking at the other people being out of sync. It was kind of like a shit show, if I'm being totally honest. It's the worst entertainment there, but we don't go on holiday for the entertainment, really. So it was just kind of there in the background while me and my family were having drinks and playing some games in the arcade and stuff. And the area that it's located in, like I said, it's about maybe a 30 to 40 minute transfer from the airport if you're going direct from the airport to the hotel. That's what I did. If you're getting a coach, someone said that they stayed on the coach for nearly 2 hours, so it might be worth getting a private taxi or transfer because you don't want to stay on a coach for 2 hours. Um, the area itself, like I said, it's in a valley. There's a load of souvenir shops. A load of them are just copy and pasted, and then there's one grocery shop. The grocery shop does sell water for cheap. It's about €1 for a 2 or 3 litre bottle of water. But if you go in there like for snacks or sweets, that's when you may see the prices go up a bit. I think a bag of Haribos were about €7. They do sell a limited selection of tobacco and cigarettes over at that grocery store as well. The souvenir shops, like I said, they're kind of copy and paste. But if you are with little kids, be aware that they do sell adult novelty gifts. So that means like you may see penises, boobs, and vaginas. A lot of them. They have like penis bottle openers. They have penis pens, boob pens, vagina pens. So it's kind of weird that they have all this adult novelty stuff in a child's resort, basically. But yeah, that's one thing you do need to look out for. You have the beach, just like literally about a 2 to 3 minute walk from the hotel. On the beach, you can. There's some restaurants down there. You can have something to eat down there. I think you can rent a jet ski as well, and then you can also go on like the banana boats and all that down there. One thing I want to talk about as well is the cleanliness of the hotel as well. So I should have said this when I was talking about the rooms, but when you first check in, they ask you when do you want your rooms cleaned, which I found totally weird. Normally, when you go to a hotel, they'll clean it every day. But when you check in, they'll give you like a little bit of paper, and you've got to circle what days you want the room service to come and clean. So I circled every other day because I thought may as well just have it every other day. Over my week stay there, they only came once, and when they came once, they only made the bed but did not take any of the rubbish in the bin and did not restock the toilet roll. So on numerous occasions, I was going downstairs to reception to tell them that the maid's not been. They said that the maid will come, never shown up. Then I was running around the hallways with rubbish bags in my hand, trying to drop off rubbish to the maid and also trying to get toilet roll as well. So that's one thing you may have to do. I've seen a couple of people on the Facebook groups talk about that as well, that some of the maids do not show up. So that's one thing you do need to look out for. So my overall score for this hotel out of 5 is really a 2.5. The thing that lets it down for me is the maids not doing a job. The limited, it's very limited when it comes to the all-inclusive and to the food you get. Everything else I liked. I liked the location. I didn't mind the water park being a little bit run down, but I'll say that took a little bit off the score. But my kids had fun. I had fun. It got to the point where on the last 6th or 7th day, you're ready to go home because you basically done everything. Especially with the kids at their age. Maybe younger kids can have fun for longer, but my kids were starting to get bored as well by day 5 and 6. So yeah, about a 2.5 out of 5 is a perfect score for me. It should not be a 4-star hotel. It should be a 3-star. I stayed at a 3-star hotel in Rhodes, which is 20 times better than this hotel, and that was given a 3-star hotel. And that hotel in Rhodes had better facilities. It was cleaner, and the water park was better. But I don't know how these stars work. But yeah, 2.5 out of 5.